So let's talk about this now, everybody. Welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. I'm joined by Fiorella and Ron Placone. Is no matter what he says, he still gets... Ex-Obama campaign manager says, no question, Bernie Sanders is the worst candidate. I want to show you the actual interview of what this guy said. And he was on, this is going to be shocking, he was on MSNBC. They're usually so
fair.
They're so fair. That's all they do is are fair. That's all, they're so, everything is their fairnessness. Hold on. Let me find it. Where is it? Boom. This one. Oh, damn it. Where did it go? Come on.
Is that it?
That's that.
And Jim Messina, it's interesting. First of all, those numbers against who beats Trump is exactly what you're focused on, because that's what you feel voters most care about right now, and those are the numbers that can be depended on. But what about youth voters? Can they be depended on not just to show their opinions, but to show up at the polls?
It is the great question. When you start to look at modeling who's going to be the electorate in this primary, the question is who's going to actually turn out to vote in this election. I think those numbers Mika showed are absolutely stunning, because over 50% of voters under 30 favor a candidate over 70 years old. You add up Bernie, Elizabeth, and Biden, and they're over 50% among young candidates. It says that electability matters. It says that issues matter. This has always been Bernie's big calling card, that he could get the youth out. You know, we just had the highest turnout in a midterm election in 100 years with young voters. The question is, are these folks coming in a very big way? And if they do, it'll change the electoral math.
You know, what's interesting and understandable, I think, about those numbers among millennials is the devotion to Bernie Sanders is clearly understandable, large part, I think, because of his consistency over the years on issues. They value consistency, makes him unlike other, in their minds, politicians. And don't underestimate the fact that Bernie, a lot of what he says, the message is basically, you can live your life for free. We'll have free college tuition. We'll have free this. We'll forgive your student debts. It's a powerful message.
It is, but in the general election, it's a message that I think is going to get him killed.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's the worst candidate in a general election for exactly that reason.
You think Bernie's the worst candidate?
Oh, I don't think there's a question about it. I think it's very clear to me that with these swing voters that I care about, the Trump-Obama voters in the Midwestern states, Bernie Sanders is not the candidate we need to beat Donald Trump in November.
Wow. Wow. It's like 2016 never happened. First of all, that's a bad message. You know what? I actually agree with them. That is a bad message. And you know whose message that isn't? Bernie's. That's not Bernie's message. His message is not, you can live your life for free. That's not his message. His message is...
What's that?
Oh, you're playing the
You're
thing.
playing the video in the background. Your video in the background. Don't you talk to me that way. Sorry. Yeah,
Ron was on a roll here.
Yeah, Ron was on a real roll. I don't want
No, it's okay. I don't want any credit card commercials as my backing music.
horrible.
I can't have that. That hasn't been my intro music for years.
Yeah, I can't have you doing that either, Ron. But Ron, you were saying you were on such a great roll, and the nerd wallet just came and punched you right in the throat.
One time we were at a progressive comedy tour show, and I thought my intro music was cute, and it actually wasn't. And I went on stage to a YouTube ad. Do you remember when that happened?
That's funny.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Placone.
And then a YouTube ad started. They were like, "Oh shit!" I mean, like when it was a mistake. It happened. I mean, we laughed it off, but it was kind of funny. But anyway,
great.
No, Bernie's message is not you can live your life for free. What his message is, hey, we can afford the same things other countries take for granted. We just need to reevaluate our priorities. And instead of spending all this money on war and bombs, we should spend it at home. Right. And we should spend it on giving everyone health care. And we should spend it on a Green New Deal. And we should spend it on tuition-free college. That's his message, not you can live your life for free.
And let's be real clear here. That guy who said he's the worst candidate, he was a former Obama guy. Obama, on numerous occasions now, insiders have said Obama's going to try to prevent Bernie from happening, right? And then that guy said, oh, he's telling kids they're going to get everything for free. That's the kind of shit they say on Fox News.
Yeah.
That's what Sean Hannity
free
says.
Stuff.
Everyone gets free, and they're going to outlaw cows if you let these socialists in. That's MSNBC having some old white guy say some right-wing bullshit.
Yep.
And not to mention the fact that the data and the numbers prove them otherwise.
Oh, yeah.
Like Bernie Sanders beats Donald Trump by the largest margin, and that's a fact. And Bernie Sanders' ideas like Medicare for all, a Green New Deal, are supported by the majority of Americans. It's once you get down and you talk to people in the Midwest and you empathize with them and their economic situation, those people can't find jobs. They're not getting the wages they deserve. And so once you talk about those issues, those people are like, oh, you know what? Yeah, this makes sense. They're likely to support that. It's the idea that you politicize the issue and you make it a liberal or a right-wing issue when it's just an economics issue.
Well, yeah,
the people.
Well, and they already did. I mean, Michigan, Wisconsin,
Florida
overwhelmingly were in support of Bernie.
Oh, yeah, last time, yeah.
I mean, last time. And then, and those were the states that, of course, Hillary lost. Right. I mean, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
I mean, it's just it is such a tired argument that, like, oh, you need a moderate to beat Trump. Only a moderate. That has been proven wrong time and time again.
Literally.
It's been proven wrong when you see these DSA members taking over their city council. It's been proven wrong when you see, all these socialists sprouting up in red states. It's been proven wrong when you look at the actual midterm results and see who won and how. It's just so tired, and they're pretending like 2016 never happened.
Well, the thing they're also about 2016 and pretending never happened is that Trump did run on a populist message.
Exactly.
It was xenophobic and it was had all these other things to it. But he said, I'm going to bring your jobs back. While Hillary was doing fundraisers in New York and L.A. and Chicago with millionaire, donors or whatever, Trump was going and doing speeches in front of closed factories.
Yep.
In Georgia and all these places, Wisconsin, Michigan, saying, I'm going to bring your jobs back. I'm going to make it. I'm going to help you. Because the stuff doesn't. Here's the other thing that they've refused. This was on Tucker Carlson, right? This is what Tucker Carlson said.
A year from today, we'll be hosting this show from the National Mall as the next president of the United States takes the oath of office. Will that president be Donald Trump? Well, as of tonight, Republicans in Washington feel confident that it will be. The official economic numbers are strong. The Democratic primaries are a freak show. Elderly socialists accusing each other of thought crimes. Republicans are starting to think that victory is assured, and that's a mistake. America remains as divided as it was 3 years ago. So no matter what happens, nobody is going to win this election in a national landslide. Those don't happen anymore. Trump could lose. Will he lose? Well, that depends entirely on what he runs on. In 2016, Donald Trump defeated more than a dozen Republicans and then Hillary Clinton by running as an insurgent, a man from outside the system, flipping the bird to the elites within. Virtually everything Trump said reinforced that message. The people who run this country are clueless. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't care about you. They've hollowed out our economy, crushed the middle class. They've screwed up our foreign policy. They left the door open on our southern border. They're children playing at leadership, and they've gotten rich doing it. The result is a national catastrophe. Now, Trump's campaign summed up that message in a single phrase: make America great again. In other words, let's not lie to ourselves. This is a disaster. The good news is we can fix it. Now, the people in charge hated to hear that, of course, because it implicated them. But voters responded. They knew it was true. And by the way, it's still true today. Things are a lot better in a lot of ways, but they're not fixed. Consider the state of the economy. The big numbers, unemployment and inflation, to name two, tell one story, and it's a good story. But dig a little deeper. A Pew poll from this fall provides a glimpse of what is actually happening in a lot of parts of the country. In that survey, 56% of Americans said the economy was excellent or good, and that's good news. But then there was this. Only 31% said the economy was helping them and their families. Just 32% thought the current economy was helping the middle class. 58% thought the opposite. Among lower-income Republicans, 47% said economic conditions were hurting them. Just 30% said they were helping. Now, keep in mind, these aren't sociology professors from the Oberlin Faculty Lounge. This is the president's core. It's his base. Why do they feel that way? It's not personal. It's just really simple. For a lot of middle-class people, wages are not keeping pace with expenses. Childcare, housing, education, healthcare, they're all getting more expensive by the year. The student loan bubble is still inflating. It's burdening young people with debts so large they can't start families. Now, these are economic problems, but they require a political solution. The candidate who makes it easier for 30-year-olds to get married and have kids will win the election and will deserve to win. Remember?
It's kind of sad that he makes more valid points than all these people on the left.
It's very
Tucker
sad.
Carlson, who's like, oh, we need closed borders and says all this crazy racist stuff.
Yeah.
He's doing, like he said, these are polls of Trump's base. Mm-hmm. And the guy on MSNBC was like, oh, Bernie's just going to give everybody free stuff. He just said, if you connect with what people need, because people in their 30s or in late 20s and 30s are not having kids because they're afraid they can't buy a house.
Yeah.
And there's your American dream. Right? Unemployment is down because, sure, if you drive for Grubhub and Uber and have 4 jobs, you're employed.
The way we measure employment is very, very flawed. And the way we measure the economy is very, very flawed. We measure the economy based on what the stock market's doing. Now, that's something, a Tucker Carlson won't say. It's like, well, when you look at how they feel this way, he won't go as far as to say, well, it's because the way we measure the economy is absolute BS. And the reason people are saying, oh, I guess it's doing good is because they heard that on the news and they might not be aware that the way they measure it is complete BS. And I think the other thing, too, it's not dependent on what Trump's messaging is. It's dependent upon who Trump's opponent is.
Yes.
And, if Bernie Sanders is Trump's opponent, I think Bernie will win. If it's anyone else, Trump's guaranteed.
Pretty much.
Trump will win.
Well, let's go back to the Forbes. So one of the things that Obama guy who said, Bernie's the worst guy ever, they were referring to a Forbes poll. Forbes, as I will quote Al Pacino from a movie, The Whistleblower or whatever, where he says, not exactly a bastion of anti-capitalist sentiment. These are the young people. 32% want Bernie, 16 Joe Biden, Liz Warren 9, Bloomberg 9, Yang 8, and then everybody else. It should be noted, Biden, Warren, and Buttigieg have all fallen. Bernie has gone upwards, right? And this is, again, no clear leader in latest New Hampshire poll, except Bernie Sanders. He is now.
Hope you don't read that whole headline. No. That's what they want.
Just block out the bottom part, right? And this is some looking at it. All right, so this just happened, and this is how Bernie's numbers. I know these are small numbers for people watching at home, so I'll just point it out for you.
That like a weatherman moment.
This is, we got a high front system coming in here, Rod. You got to bring a lot of showers. So in August, Bernie was at 15%. He's gone up September 17, 16, 17, 20% in December, 27% in January. Elizabeth Warren has gone between 14 and 19. She's back down to 14. Biden, he started at 29. He peaked at 34. He's down to 24. He's dropped 10 points since October, right? Buttigieg, who they keep pushing, has gone from 5 to 8 to blah, blah, blah. But it's a strong fourth place. It's a very strong fourth place. So that's that poll.
Who are the 4% of people who like Amy Klobuchar? Did they not see that video of her? Remember that video of her where that college kid was like, hey, are you going to do anything for me? And she was like, well, and then they asked her again. They were like, yeah, but answer the kid's question. Are you going to do anything about student loan debt? And she was like, no. And then you see the kid's look on his face like he's just like, wow, okay. They clearly had those 4% have not seen that video. There's no way.
I want to point out something. If we recall in 2016, Bernie Sanders won West Virginia as a state in the primaries. But when it came between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, they all voted for Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. And that's because it's such an impoverished state where he actually went and talked to the people and addressed their concerns. Yes, it was a red state, but he was able to get those Republican votes because he addressed the concerns, whereas Hillary Clinton completely ignored them. Thereby, she lost to Donald Trump. So I think we could, with a Bernie Sanders, absolutely turn a lot of these red states into blue.
There's this guy I know. He's a comic, and he lives in West Virginia, and I posted something in 2016, and this was like right after the election, so everybody's very heated, right? And I posted something, I think it was just about the result itself, and there were a big thread on my Facebook page, right? And it was people of all sides, people who were just like, I'm fed up with the system, this is ridiculous, we never should have been in this situation, blue no matter who people, pro-Trump people, little bit of everything, right? And this one person posted a thing where like, I don't understand how these places, West Virginia was popular for Bernie Sanders, but they wouldn't come out for Hillary Clinton. I don't get it. And this guy who lives in West Virginia just posted right underneath it and said, we remember NAFTA.
Yeah, that's the thing. People and the neoliberals, and this is where the conservatives, their criticism is actually correct.
Right.
Neoliberals living in big cities with college degrees and nice jobs have no idea. The Republican Party doesn't care about those people either. They're just better at masking it and making it sound like they do. The Democratic Party has completely abandoned them. And so and that's such a great example. And this is another thing I disagree with Tucker Carlson about. If Bernie gets the nomination, it's not old socialist mudslinging, whatever he said, which was a funny line.
Yeah.
But I actually think Bernie would have an electoral and a popular vote landslide, because Hillary Clinton had 3 million more votes. We know the majority of them came from California, right? So around the rest of the country is actually a lot closer. But that's Hillary Clinton, the second most disliked candidate ever, still got 3 million more votes than the most disliked presidential candidate ever, who ended up winning electorally. So you look at this, you have Bernie, he's going to flip places like West Virginia. He could flip Texas. He'll get all of those states, those blue states that Hillary should have won, but because he'll actually campaign there. Bernie is not afraid, unlike Elizabeth Warren, to go to red states. He will go on Fox News. He'll go one-on-one with Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity. And when they call him a crazy old communist, he'll go, no. No, he'll just go, no. He's just like, and their smears, Bernie's actually better at dealing with and will go at them harder than when he gets the neoliberal smears. And as we talked about earlier, it plays too nice. Yeah. So I just think like this thing that they're saying, they're afraid because Bernie is surging in the polls. They're afraid he's going to get the nomination. And then what? That's why Hillary made her crazy, nobody likes him, and then lost. She's losing that because
weren't you shocked when you found out that Hillary Clinton had a docuseries coming out and the topic was herself?
Oh, yeah.
Who saw that coming?
No,
she's never done anything like that.
Yeah, she's so great.
She retracted her statement. She was like, oh, I would vote for Bernie. Because she was asked if she would vote for him against Trump. And she's like, well, let's not go there right now. And it's like, so you're going to vote for Trump? Miss,
you're going to vote for Trump.
Vote blue no matter who. Miss, we need to unite the party. You know?
Who chastised Bernie supporters that didn't vote for you. Now you're going to vote for Trump? Because let's be real honest. Hillary Clinton, in her heart of hearts, would rather have Trump win than Bernie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because if Trump wins, she can go, see, Bernie ruined it again.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
If Bernie wins, it's like, hey, nobody wanted you. Bernie could have won in 2016. We could have never had to deal with Trump. But you're the problem. You got in the way. And you and Obama's so worried about his legacy now. And because people are flipping on him, he's like, oh, I got to go after Bernie. So
let them. It just helps Bernie.
Yeah, I know. All right. So that's that. Like, share, and subscribe, everybody. And Ron, we have some tour dates.
We have so many tour dates.
This Saturday, where are we going?
This Saturday, we're going to be in Santa Clarita, California. Southern California. Don't be shy. Get some tickets right now.
Yes.
Do it.
Go to ronplacone.com or grahamelwood.com. February, we're going to Arizona and San Francisco, and we're going to be doing some live Jimmy Doors on the road. And March, we're going to Florida,
Orlando, Tampa, Miami. Get your tickets now.
Yes. Go get your tickets. Like, share, subscribe, share these videos, and shave your knuckles for justice.